Yeah. Woo! Okay. I think we're good to go. Get excited because I'm welcoming you back to week 2 of 8 in this beginner's belly dance class. Let's all spread out through our toes, relax through your feet and ankles. We're going to sweep relaxation up through low legs, bend through your knees. Tuck the hips under in neutral. You can lift up through rib cage. Shoulders are going to come all the way around and down. Slide the shoulder blades together and down your back. You can pop the chin back into alignment, crown of the head to the sky, tailbone to the ground. So this is going to be your basic stance that you return to between movements, and we touched on this in the last class. But this time, in this session, we're going to go a bit deeper with that and really begin to form good habits with your posture and your breathing technique. So let's begin to really come down into body now, down from busy mind into body. Take a deep breath. We're going to expand the belly with the breath, expand through the rib cage. Collarbones might rise upwards, and as you breathe out, we're going to allow collarbones to return, rib cage returns, belly returns, so that there's no air left in your lungs. And then take a deep breath in. Expand. And really don't be afraid to expand through your belly. And then breathe out again. Continuing with that rhythmical flow. Slow it right down, deepen it out wide. So breathing in this way ensures that you're receiving all of the nutrients that each of the muscles, the joints, and the cells in your body need, your brain needs, in order to recall the things that you know and the things that you want to just dive into in your creativity. So we're really fueling the body as we're using it, before each movement even. And with that, of course, calming the mind. And things can really begin to flow so much more easily. So as you continue with that breath, let's just think about all too often in today's society, we've been kind of conditioned perhaps to make ourselves small. Make yourself small. Don't take up too much space. But what if I was to say to you, let go of that idea? It's time for you, and for all of us, to take up way more space. To give each of your organs all of the space that they so deserve. And rather than if it wobbles, you must strap it down. Corset yourself, tighten up. Act like a lady. Act like a lady. Well, that's all good and lovely. And hey, I enjoy corsetry as well myself. In fact, I have a tight lacing one. But I do that for fun and because I have the option. So with that in mind, let's just kind of let go of that old conditioning. Or just take a moment. Just make your belly as big as you can. Let's just stand here in that basic stance. So your feet about hip width, bend through your knees, tuck your hips under in neutral. Use a little bit of pelvic floor muscles, including those naughty ones. We're going to lift up through the rib cage, shoulders in neutral. Already feel that expansiveness through your chest as soon as you stand there like that. Naturally, your hands are going to come down by your side in this sort of outwards, upwards offering gesture. Hi! Bringing your spine into alignment, crown of the head to the sky. Feel your tailbone sink to the earth. Feel the connection with the earth. Feel yourself rooted, strong, steady. Might feel a bit odd at first, but the more that you stand in this position, the more natural it feels, and the more able you are to really relax in this position, and therefore only bring tension where it's needed, when it's needed. And that's so much a part of this art form. Only bringing what's required to produce the movement, the feeling, and nothing else. You don't need anything else. And so with that position, with that stance, let's try that suggestion. Just make your belly as big as you possibly can. How does that feel? Bit weird? Good. And then let's bring it all the way inwards. Make it as small as you possibly can. Make it as small as you possibly can. Oh, pull all those belly muscles, all those pelvic floor muscles upwards and back. And then release that. And make your belly as big as you can, and with the breath, fill your breath into your belly. Expand the rib cage. How does it feel this time? Still weird? Good. Breathe out. Make it as small as you possibly can. Now, as you make it as small as you possibly can, make sure you still have a bend through your knees. Have your knees kind of tension out. Relax through the knees, relax through your back. Let your pelvic floor muscles and your abs pull upwards and inwards. And then in your own time, breathe right out. Or breathe in. Wherever you're at in your own breath cycle. Because let's face it, I'm about the size of a hamster, and so maybe I breathe at a different rate to you. Or maybe you're also a hamster sized. Wherever you're at is absolutely beautiful and absolutely fine with me and fine with our little community. It's beautiful. Nobody can be you like you can be you. You're here in this body, in this mind, in this spirit, to be you, not to be anybody else. To have your own unique experience. All right, so we're just letting go of any limiting beliefs, letting go of any sort of conditioning about how our body should feel or move or be when we dance. And there's one of the big differences, maybe in a cultural sense, between the residue of the Victorian era, particularly in the UK and the US, versus perhaps cultural norms in other parts of the world, maybe in the Middle East. So just with that background, really, actually quite fundamental, quite important to have this little chat. But now let's move on with that in mind. Let that infuse and permeate through your dancing. Bend through your knees, tuck through your hips, use pelvic floor, lift through your rib cage, shoulders, all the way round and down, open through the chest. Chin comes back, crown of the head, tailbone, deep breath in. And as you breathe in, really expanding the belly as now you know how, and as now you know is absolutely okay. Isn't it weird that we should need permission to just be and to use our lungs and our body to the fullest of its capacity? Wow. Okay, let's bring the hands out to the side. We're not going to think about the technique too much of the positioning of our arms right now. I want you just to bring your arms out to the side, just to give you a little bit of extra balance, a little bit of extra leverage. Let's come in through center. We're going to bring the hip out to the other side. So we're going to start off having a look at slides now. So this one here being a slide of the hip, you can either memorize the names of the movements, or you can completely discard them. That is absolutely for you to decide. We're learning on a physical, on a visual, but also if you want to, you can also place the names of movements into your learning as well. Depends on the way that you learn habitually. We all learn differently. So I'm going to bring in as many tools to your learning as possible. I'm going to use silly analogies, as I'm sure you will get to know and love. Let's bring the hips through center, out to the side. So what we're doing here is we're bringing the hip out to one side. And as you do that, you're going to increase the bend through your knee to keep this hip line level, parallel with the floor. Let's bring it center. Take it out to the side. Bring it center, out to the side. Wow. Center, slide. 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 All right, so what I want you to do now is just be mindful of that hip placement, the leveling of the hip. So as you come out to the side, let's slow it right down again. As you come out to the side, you're going to increase the bend. So the whole time you're in your basic stance, so you've already got a bend through your knees. Yeah? Good. Then, as you come out to the side and your hip comes out over one knee, make sure that you continue to bend through the knee even more. That's going to increase the lengthening through your waist and enable this alignment parallel with the floor. So if your hips right now were a coin, you've placed that coin on the ground, and then what you did is you slid that coin directly across the floor. It doesn't swing up at the sides, it comes straight across. Yeah? So we're going to try that again. Pass through center, bring the hip out to the side, increase the bend through the knee, and lengthen through the waist. Now, depending on your own physiology, your own flexibility through your waist and through your spine, you might feel this a sensation similar to if we did a side bend. And just know from that as you do this movement, the more you will be able to do this movement with more depth. Let's bring it into center. Try the other side. So you're going to bend through your knee, extend through the waist, really lengthening through there. Now, as you do that, I want you just to double check that your hips are still in neutral. If your hips have popped out of neutral, you're going to know that because you're going to feel that in different places. Rather than feeling a stretch through your waist, you might feel a compression, a contraction through your back. Now, we don't want that to happen because that might feel sore in the coming days. You're going to tuck your hips under using your pelvic floor muscles. So we're strengthening up those pelvic floor muscles and low abs at the same time, just in this alignment here. Let's bring it back in through center. We could try that a little bit faster now, if you feel ready to, or you can take it nice and slow. Now, I always want you to adapt the movement to whatever really fits for you in this present moment. That might be doing the movement really big and slow, or might be doing the movement a little bit faster and smaller. Really tune into now what would feel right for you in this moment. Within your learning, where's your growth edge? What grows you? Is it to carry on with that same movement at the same pace, or is it to make it a little bit faster, or I'll let you decide. So let's just have a little bit of fun with that movement. Whee! One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Yes. Wow. That is stunning. Bring it gently into center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next session, I'm gonna cover with you how you can keep your upper half nice and still and steady, really still and steady, whilst moving through your low half. Well done, everybody here in our live class. Wow, that looks amazing. Woohoo! Help yourself to some hydration and join me back in center in a moment. Oh my gosh. All right, so next time, like I say, we're gonna go through the things that we did just now. We'll have a little bit of a recap of those. I'm gonna talk to you about something known as anchoring, which is gonna help you move one part of the body independently or seemingly independently of the rest of your body. It's like magic. And we're going to start to bring the movements together that we're doing into a combination towards the end of the session. And I'm going to cover this next one in more depth. But for now, I'm going to just give you a little bit of an intro, an insight into one of the movements that's coming up. So, we're going to come onto the ball of one foot, bend through your knee. I'm going to talk to you about this movement in lots more depth next time. We're going to lift up through the hip, drop. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. Drop, 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 drop. Try the other side. Lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, 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 drop. Can bring that together, one side then the other. So we're just having a little bit of a feel for this movement. We're going to go over the full technique of this in the next session. Here we go. You could try that a little bit faster. Woo! Wee! Bring into center, try each side. Woo! Bringing it all the way up into shimmy. Wow, well done, that was absolutely amazing. Let's use a few of those slides that we did in a lovely stretch motion. Like I said, the more that you do these movements, the more that you can do these movements. So at the same time as actually learning the movement itself, you're also doing the body conditioning and stretching that's involved in producing the movement some more. Quite phenomenal. It's like a kind of an isometric modality. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also next week. We're going to take that slide in more detail up top. How can you keep the hips nice and steady and literally just have that movement flowing through your upper half? And the hips will move a little bit, but if you utilize this technique, I'm going to be showing you in the next class, you'll be absolutely amazed by the difference. And then we can do amazing things like, have a little shot of this now. Woo! Take it down into the hips, lift it up into the chest. Bring it down into hips, 2, 3, 4, up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, and wow. So you could have a little think about perhaps having a practice of that breathing technique. Breathing freely, expressing yourself to the fullest. If you need permission to step into taking up more space in the world, you have it. You have it. You can be you like no one else can be you. Choose to be you. Let's come into a gorgeous releasing stretch. Other side. Gentle bend through both knees. Coming back into center. Wow. Let's bring both hands up towards the sky. Take your footing wider. We can pivot out through hips. Just want to release through your back there. We can gently come round towards one side. So this is not so much a stretch for legs as a release for your back. You're going to come all the way around. You can really bend through your knees, and if the floor is accessible to you there, you can walk your hands round. Keep the hips facing forwards. As you come back through center, take it to the other side. Release it out, relax through your neck, come back into center there. We're gonna unwind gradually all the way through. One vertebrae at a time, coming up into center. Wow. Bring your hands onto your hips. Rotate round through the forearm. Harness some more energy, more power to you. Take the hands wide. If you can tune into that energy you've just harnessed in between your hands, form that orb. And now you can gift that energy to yourself Wherever you feel drawn to do so, it knows what to do. Just simply guide it and allow it to flow. New energy flowing in to you. Stale, stagnant energy is free to leave. It flows away. And in comes more vibrant energy, more replenishing energy, more healing energy, more creativity. And with each breath, multiplying. Bring one hand into heart space, one hand into womb space. Thank you for being you. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit notifications so you can be informed of when the next video goes up. If you'd like to support the creation of these videos, remember you can head along to patreon.com/Little Egypt Studio, where you'll find a community of other enjoyers of these videos. See you soon. Bye.